Before we dive in, let me leave you with a truth that echoes across every chapter in human history. Nothing we are began in silence. Every civilization, every story, every ancestor left a trail of wisdom waiting to be rediscovered. What you are about to hear is a part of a legacy, preserved, decoded, and brought back to the forefront. I'm OG Mooney. Welcome to AI Legacy Lab.
Sauce Walka's story starts in the heart of Houston, a city where hustle isn't a choice, it's a birthright. Every corner teaches you something new about ambition, struggle, style, and survival. Before the world even knew his name, he was already building an identity, forged in the streets of the Third Ward. This is a place where the city's heat mixes with the heat of pressure, where dreams can rise or fall, depending on how much fight you have in your chest. And believe me, Walka had more fight than most. He carried himself with a confidence that felt larger than his environment, a natural charisma that made people listen before they even understood what he was saying. His determination was fierce, turning every single setback into fuel and every challenge into a performance. As he grew up, this world became the foundation for the movement he would later create. Sauce Walka didn't enter the Houston rap scene to blend in. He came to stand out loud, wild, dripping, and completely himself. And people felt that energy instantly. His vibe was different, his voice was sharp, and his personality overflowed with a flavor that just couldn't be copied, even though the industry definitely tried. The movement he built, the Sauce movement, became so much more than just music. It evolved into fashion, an attitude, a whole identity, and a business, all at once. It shaped the way an entire generation looked at independence, confidence, branding, and the art of being unforgettable. And every single time, Sauce Walka stepped into the spotlight, he brought his entire city with him, putting Houston on his back. Now, Walka's rise wasn't clean or simple. It was messy. It came with controversy, battles, disagreements, and a long list of people who completely underestimated what he was building. They didn't get it until they suddenly realized he was changing the game in real time, right before their eyes. He relentlessly pushed the idea that an artist could create their own economy, their own label, their own style, and their own blueprint, all without bowing down to the traditional rigid rules of the music industry. And when he called out the culture vultures, the clones, the thieves, and the artists who borrowed a little too heavily from his sauce, he spoke with the conviction of someone protecting a legacy, not just a passing trend. That passion made him both loved and hated, but above all, it made him respected. Because no one, absolutely no one, could deny that he was shaping the culture, even as he was fighting against parts of it. Through his music, viral moments, savvy business plays, and a relentless branding strategy, Sauce Walka became one of the strongest and most authentic independent voices in all of Texas. He proved that charisma, creativity, and pure hustle can outweigh a massive budget and a corporate machine any day of the week. He turned his label, The Sauce Factory, into a launch pad for emerging artists, creating real opportunities in places where the spotlight rarely shines. He showed the world that Houston hip-hop isn't limited to just one sound or one style. It's a universe of its own, driven by personalities who break the rules instead of following them. And right at the center of that storm stood Walka Loud, confident, unpredictable, and always 10 steps ahead of whatever the industry thought he would do next. As the Sauce movement matured, so did Walka. His message grew heavier, his vision grew sharper, and his ambition expanded far beyond just music. He understood early on that influence is a currency and culture is a battlefield. And he fought hard to make sure his voice carried serious weight in both of those arenas. And even when the internet tried to reduce him to just memes, antics, or controversy, the truth remained crystal clear. Behind all the noise, he was a thinker, a strategist, a leader, and a creator whose ideas reshaped the Houston scene in ways that critics simply could not deny. His impact traveled far beyond the borders of Texas, sparking conversations in the national rap scene. In the end, Sauce Walka's legacy is the story of a man who transformed pure confidence into a culture and raw hustle into real influence. He's the story of someone who refused to let anyone define him except himself and his city. He showed the entire world that authenticity can be louder than any marketing campaign, that a powerful personality can be stronger than industry politics, and that the sauce isn't just something you wear, it's something you live. And whether people love him, hate him, copy him, or study him, one thing is for sure, they cannot erase him. He built a lasting legacy on independence, originality, and the unstoppable belief that Houston is, and always will be, one of the pillars of American hip-hop. And he stands right at the center of that truth, dripping louder than anyone who ever tried to silence him. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of hip-hop's most unique figures, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe for more stories like this, and drop a comment letting us know who we should cover next. See you in the next one.
Another chapter reclaimed, another piece of history placed back where it belongs. If you have found any meaning in this, let it sit with you. Let it sharpen your vision, not just for the past, but for who we are becoming. I'm OG Mooney, and this is AI Legacy Lab. Honoring truth, protecting legacy, one story at a time. Until next time, stay curious.